Hey tubers, me again. It's been a while. I think I'm just going to title this one The Rabbit Hole because it first came in. It's a TS410 cut saw for roofers. And it first came in and the pull starter was just pulling in and out. And I was like, all right, well, that's not a big deal. It's just going to be the starter pawl. I've got those laying around. Well, I take the cover off. I go, it's laying on its side. I look inside, and inside the starter cup, there's the pawl. There's, all the pieces are laying right there. And I'm like, well, that's a little unusual. But when it broke the pawl, it broke the pulley. So here we go. This was what? DHS. That's the part number. Starter pulley rope style new TS410. Blah, blah, blah. There's the damage right there. 26. So I go and I take and I put that on, and while I'm trying to start it up again, it's bucking, and like the timing is off. And so what I got to do is I could go over here and say like, well, the only way that it could do that is if it takes and it skips on the key on the flywheel. So I pulled the flywheel off. Take the flywheel and then switch it out with another one. There's a donor down there. Switch it out, put it on. It still does the same thing. So then I go and I check the tolerance between let me turn the light on, up here on the coil, and I can't get 10,000s. Well, you'll see why this is going to end up being the rabbit hole. Is that this somehow had moved in too close to the flywheel. I could not get the 10,000s that I needed. I went to unscrew this and it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. So I looked down inside of there, and that hole, the securing hole with the threads, is all wallered out. So now it's time to take and put a little bit of JB Weld in there, fill in the threads, and then just take and cut new ones to hold the ignition coil. Get that in there, start it up. It runs, and it's actually running kind of good. And then the next thing you know, I don't know if you guys have ever had a runaway or ever seen a runaway on a two-stroke. It'll start off, it goes, it gets super hot. Something's glowing inside the cylinder. You'll try to turn it off by the switch. It won't shut off. And there's only two ways to kill it. One is to take and either block the exhaust so that it can't breathe, or block the intake. And you obviously can't do that. Maybe try choking it, whatever. So this thing starts to do the runaway thing. Well, I look down here on the throttle. There's the arm that goes up to the trigger. And it's just creeping up all by itself. Well, the spring over here on this side is broken on the carburetor. So now we've gone from starter pawls over to the new ignition coil, fixed that right there, gave that a new flywheel, and now here we are over at the carburetor. So we got pre-filter, regular filter, new carburetor, and all the other fun stuff that needs to go on. Then, while I'm looking, it's like, well, a couple other things aren't making sense. It's like, this bar is having a hard time allowing me to get my T27 in there in order to secure the coil. I was like, well, what's going on? So now I'm looking over here. If you're looking, we're looking at the air filter cover. That's a crack. So this thing fell. It's always something. So now we've got that. Here's a new cover. So I should be able to take and put all this stuff back together now today, and that it will be a runner. With the caveat that don't move this. I think I'm the only guy that services it anyways, but don't move that coil. And then what I do is like, I take, and once I do the work on any particular machine, like this one here, it will say AR2, America Roofing 2, and I log these guys in a book. So like AR2 was last in here, and it just says, these are notes that I put to myself. Questionable as to whether or not this machine has been in before. It had the wrong securing screw on the air cover. Excessive shut-off wiring was not secured and crushed, causing the grounding of the coil. Choke linkage was not attached. So this is the right machine. Whoops. You see, like where I cut, and then I soldered these wires again. So I'm gonna put it back together and let's see if it runs, see if it's gonna be decent. I already got a ton of money, like parts, the starter pulley, all these parts. So we'll see. Okay, so here's the old carburetor. Let me see if I can make it so it focuses better. Okay, so this is how it would be on the machine, like this. This is the throttle down here. You see, there's like, it should automatically go all the way back down. It should, but it doesn't. So here's what happens. So if you're looking inside, the machine starts, the RPMs start picking up, therefore it's sucking in more. And it keeps opening itself, and then that's what makes you think that you've got a runaway. Luckily, I did not. Over here, turn the light on. Come on. Over here, maybe we can better see it sticking up right there. There's the spring that's supposed to be holding that in there to bring it back to full closed, and it's not. So, see, that's how that one is. I don't know what's going on with the rest of it. So, anyways, that's the OEM. That's a SIA. Here's new aftermarket. We'll look down here in the barrel. That's closed nice and tight. Here's the spring way up here where it needs to be. So we've got, see how nice and crisp that is. So, all right, we're going to take and put this on, but I do want to tell you guys a little secret when you go to put this on. Is, see this choke sticking up back here? It goes on like this. You got to reach in there with your finger and close that choke in order, hold on, for this to just slide right down in there. Pretty straightforward once you got that. If you don't hold that choke, you're going to say, oh, it's hitting, it's doing something. Something's not right. That's what it is. It's that choke. Okay, I'm going to finish buttoning this thing up, and then we'll see if it runs. Okay, you guys. So if you've ever watched any other videos, like if they just show you how to do that, they show you how to do the carburetor install, and then they go to the choke. Everybody struggles with this part right here because it is such, turn the light on, it's such a tight fit. That's the actual connection to the choke down here. I'll show you, I'll zoom in here in a second. So, where did that stupid piece go? There we go. So when it's installed, this is what this little piece looks like. And it has the little detents. It catches them on both sides. So when you're taking you're moving the switch, right? That's how it works, by that thing going like that. Okay, so let's zoom in so you can see how it gets installed. Right there. Okay. There's that detent clip. Sits right on the outside of that. here's going to be the pivot point for the choke itself. And so everybody struggles with that piece right up there. Leave it together. So now you look down here. There's the hook. There's the choke piece right there. I'm just going to take and set that in. Okay, so it's almost there. Now the problem is that when you go to take and slide this onto there, it won't, because it's already compressed for the detents. So anything, little baby screwdriver. I just got these forceps, whatever you call them, and then I'm just going to get it started on the pivot point right there. Slide over, and then I'm going to reach back behind. Show you what I'm doing here. Hold on. From the top, where am I? I'm going to reach back. There's the clip, right? I'm just going to reach back, and I'm going to push that down just a squidge. See it? Push that down a squidge. And then with the way that the choke lever goes on there, then I'll just be able to take and lift this one up. So it's a two-stage process. Push down on this one, get it started, and then lift on this one, and it's in. So let's do it in real time. There's the choke. The connection is made on the linkage. Here's this. I don't think it really matters where. It looks like about neutral. It's going to be best place. Reach back behind here. Push on that tab. You can see it kind of kicked off sideways right there. So I know I'm already started. Take and lift this one up. Whoops. That's just the throttle. There's a choke. Even with all that extra going on. There's the choke. You can see it. There's the lever. Just that easy. Right. One more time. But now we're just going to do it in real time. So now I'm time to replace the carburetor. I need to get the choke off. I'm just going to take it like this, slide it out. Doop, dropped it. Here we go. I just put in the new carburetor. I want to take and hook up the choke. Get it started. Whoops. I'm trying to do this lefty. We don't know how that works out. Okay. Here we go. Put that in. Lean on that back tab a little. Get out of there. Pick up on this front tab a little. Whoops. And it's in. Boom. Just that easy. Got it. Okay. Okay, so there it is, the closing segment on that silly TS410. This is the one it started off with. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this. It started off with just a starter pawl. The reason why the starter pawl failed is because the securing bolt for the coil had slipped and set the timing off, so where it was bucking, and when the guy pulled it, it would snap the rope back down into his hand. Finally, the pawl gave out, ended up breaking the pulley, had to get a new pulley, blah, blah, blah. Had to take and put JB Weld in the hole that holds the coil, put that in there, then went and started it up. It ran, but it felt like it was turning into a runaway. And I already showed you that part, which was that the spring was bad on one of these. Turn the light on. But the spring was bad on one of these, what do you call it? The carbs. So it'd be over here on this side. That spring was bad. So I ordered up a new carburetor, put that on there. Then when I was looking at it, the air cover box had a crack in it, was all full of that superfine dirt, which will trash an engine. And so it was like 1, 2, 3. It was a nightmare. It was like, if you've ever been a cook, a line cook, or like in your job and you're having nightmares, it's like the one ticket that won't go away. You clear the line and you wake up exhausted. That's how it was with this. Every time I turned around, it was something else, and then just waiting on shipping, waiting on shipping, waiting on shipping. So anyways, it's done. It's Sunday. It's going home. And I guess we'll just catch you on the next one if I can find all the pieces and put this video together. But leave a comment. I guess that's it. It's getting hot, guys. Well, everybody take care of their summer. Do what you got to do now. So anyways, that's it. I'm done. There's Jax. Jax. Say bye-bye. We're out.